Welcome to the today's class. Today we are going to discuss about the mudra and whatever the chapters are left of the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati. Now I'm presenting my screen. Please confirm whether it is showing or not. Okay, thank you, Sajil.
Now it is open.
Thank you, Simaju. That these are we already discussed. So we are in Upadesa 6, which Upadesa 6 name is Nityapinda Avaduta. Means here all chapter are is here the last chapter is talking about the quality of the Avaduta and what he becomes when the person becomes converted as the Avaduta. When it will get Avaduta, only the practitioner is not called Avaduta. After getting that higher state, then that person becomes converted as the Avaduta, as well as that person is only said here Siddha Yogi. Okay. And that person is become converted as the Sadguru. Okay. So here the same thing is just whatever in the fifth chapter is there, they are giving importance to the Avaduta and the Guru, so that the same thing is continuing here. But the Varakshnas is telling about the qualities. The many qualities are discussed in this chapter. And here we've seen that what are the modification of the mind should be followed by the Abhidhutta yogi, and how they becomes penetrate the six chakras, how the his doing the his self realization in the on the Omkara. Then he becomes free from all the pleasures, desires, and distractions. Then he becomes what he were. He becomes what lion cloth and begging bowl. He holding what it and cheer on the face every time. And here also I said you the Sankha definition. What do you mean by Sa? Sa means the bliss, Kham means the Param Brahma, that is the blissful Param Brahma state is called as the Sankha. But that becomes holding by that Avaduta yogi. Then again we seen that Sally, deer skin, what are the things are representing, what they, when he is wearing these things, it is representing in his life, what is the importance, that is said by the Guru Gorakshnath here. He becomes free from all type of six vices, and the mala or the Visranti, what he is wearing, that is that indicates that he becomes control over his senses. Okay, so that are the things we already discussed. Then danda, which is weard by the or hold by the Abhaduta yogi, that represents the courage. Then begging bowl is the parakasa. Then nijasakti, yoga patta is nijasakti. Then dvaita advaita is also discussed here. The next is how his body looks like. That is also here it is stated. Mostly, whenever he is telling that he behaving like king, and sometimes he behaving like poor, sometimes he becomes naked, identify. Sometimes he the king means he wear the all the things, all the ornaments very proudly. So it is by telling these things, he just tried to say that the person who is the practitioner, after reaching that higher state, he becomes merged with that supreme, and he becomes in his world. He neither affected by the outer objects or outer world, because he always tried to follow what his supreme is used to say, or what is getting by in his mind. He just tried to follow that one. Okay. So after that, he just say that the Abhaduta who is really achieved the Abhaduta state, then only that person is called as the Sadguru here. Then we seen the Parampada, what are the other names? Atman, Paramatman, Jivatman, and Supreme Principle, Shiva, Rudra, Brahma, Vishnu. So all the names here it is discussed. Indra is also whatever the things. Kalangi is the new name here. You may be identified. and the moon, the sun, Param Shiva. So these are the other names of Parampada. What do you mean by Parampada here? The supreme one or supreme self, another name. These are the synonyms of Parampada or supreme self. We can say that, or the what we understand Brahman. Okay. The next is we seen that Sankhya Darshan how is said that if you want to achieve the Avadhuta state, then you must be follow the yoga path. Means only through yoga you will achieve this state. In the same way, Mimamsa Darshan is also telling if you are following the all karmas and the rituals, what is prescribed to you, if you are following that, then you also achieve the Avadhuta state. Then now today we'll discuss about this mudra definition and benefits according to the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati. Normally we know that mudra means gesture, whatever we are performing through the fingers or through the any body parts, so that is called as the mudra here. Okay, but here it is different. Mood here mudra is coming from the two root word which is coming from the Sanskrit root, that is the mood, another one the ra. Okay, so mood root means the delighted, to delight. Okay, to delight means whenever you are in happy situation or you are in bliss situation. Ra means to bestow. What do you mean by bestow? Yes, anyone?
To
What do you
give
mean by bestow?
to give or to present.
Means whenever present, we can say that we can understand the present. Whoever are happy or delighted in the present moment, so that one is the meaning of the mudra. Okay, the person who is in the avadhuta state, that person becomes always in the mudra form. What is the mudra here? Means always in the delighted form. So that his present moment always is in the blissful, or always he becomes enjoy the situation, and always try to be always you can see the face of the that avadhuta is becomes full of cheer or becomes smiling, become blissful state. So then that way, or according to representing that, so that here it is given the definition of mudra, that mood means to delight, and the ra or root means the to bestow, means the present moment. We can say that. Okay. So whoever presently and who is delighted or in a happy situation in the present moment, that is called as the mudra. So the bliss after that, bliss means here it is talking about the this delighted or present moment bliss or present moment happiness after realization of both Jivatma and Paramatma is called mudra or kundalas. So here mudra means kundalas. Okay. So what do you mean by that? Means when that person, the sadhak will be achieved that supreme state. How that supreme state will be achieved? Whenever that person will be know or getting the knowledge of the self and the supreme. That no difference between self and supreme. He is the supreme is in between me only. So that realization of both Jivatma and Paramatma, after realizing that one, that person becomes in a blissful state. So that state is called as the mudra here. Okay. And the benefits are of the mudra that God becomes delighted on the yogi. Whenever one will achieve the mudra state, what happens? The God becomes delighted on the yogi, and it gives delighted on the yogi, but it gives pain to the demons. Whoever Rakshasas are there, whoever the bad bodies or the negative powers are there, they become the person who is doing the sadhana. It gives pain to that demons. Okay, and again he is try to give more importance and giving a clear clarification that if you are following yoga path, then only you will be achieve this state. But if you are following any other path, then that is called as the pakhandi or heretics. So here it is said that who are not following the path of yoga and attached with the worldly affairs, so that persons are called as the pakhandi. What are the path is followed by the pakhandi? That is called as the pakhandi path. Okay. So in that way, it is given here according to the meaning of mudra. Then after describing about mudra, he is describing that what are the four varnas are meaning on the ashram. Four varnas or ashramas. So what are the four ashramas are there? Who can tell me? Just unmute yourself and tell me what are the four ashramas? Yes.
Brahmacharya, Grahasthashrama,
Hmm.
Vanaprastha and Sannyasashrama.
Very good. So what are the ashramas are there? Now brahmacharya, grahastha, and vanaprastha and sannyasa, or who are called as the sannyasi. Okay, so they are different. Here they given importance to the Brahma, means this four one. Now why it is discussed here? Because what are the indication? Because here all the qualities are defined of the Avadhuta Yogi. So that in that form, or to giving a sense to this ashram, so here they given importance, or this discussions are going on, that brahmacharya means through knowledge when one remain observed in the Brahma, or who is getting the Brahma Vidya, who having the knowledge of Supreme. So that ashram is called as the Brahmacharya. Means in that time period, he always try to cultivate the knowledge regarding the Brahma. And he becomes, whenever he try to cultivate, automatically that some practices will be going on, and he becomes observed or becomes combined or become united with that Brahma and identify that who am I, means what is the purpose of my life, that is only identify in the Brahmacharya ashram. Okay, so next one is the Grahastha. The Grahastha is always dwells in both. What is the both? One is constant fullness, another one is the eternal space. So here, Guru Gorakhnath is telling constant fullness means that is representing the housewife. Okay, always he becomes busy, so that is your housewife. And the eternal space means it is representing the home. And the who are in Grahastha ashrams, they are all, Grahastha means what? They are getting married, and that is the getting married. So that whenever he get married, that from that point of view, or from that time period, that person has become enter in the Grahastha ashram. Okay, so here she just try to say that who are a Grahastha, he always busy with his wife and home. So that home is considered as the eternal space, and the housewife, the wife is called as the constant fullness. Here, so always dwells in this both. And the Banaprastha, what is the Banaprastha? Bana and Prastha means whenever one is going to the Bana means the forest, and the Prastha means go to forest. And the Prastha means whenever one is going to forest, for which purpose they are going in the Banaprasthasam, to mostly following the that getting whatever they learn in the brahmacharya ashram, they need to more explore. For that purpose, they are going in the Banaprastha ashram. So in the same way, here it is said that permanently dwells. Here he becomes dwells in temporary basis, and he becomes busy in the in his wife and home. But here permanently that person is dwells in the self-luminous forest. Okay, in the form of one's own inner world. Means here, Guru Gorakhnath is telling who is forest. What is the forest here? Inner world. What is the present in between? That is called as the inner world, and that is called as here forest. When a person try to go in his inner world and try to dwell in that state, or live in that state in his inner world, so that person is called as the here Vanaprastha. Okay, and detachment from the outer world. Okay, and not accepted that like a deer in the world, by forgetting all one is live in the forest. Means he just given an example how deer will be live in the wild area. If wild animals are there, deer cannot be live there. But here, not accepted. Not accepted means uh, like how deer will be
Ma'am, your
live
voice.
or the moving in the wild area, but that person who is by forgetting. Yes, someone is telling something. Yes,
Ma'am, your voice.
Ankita ji.
Ma'am, your voice was breaking, but now it is clear. You were telling
Now it
about
is
the
clear.
deer, then your voice was. Yes, ma'am.
Now it is clear.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Sorry. Means how the deer means it is a very innocent animal. Yes or no? And the wild are very harmful. Means very that are very what we say.
Wild or fierce? Wild,
They are the sign of
fierce.
fears. But when both are innocent and the crucial ones, they cannot live in one place. But here, he just tried to say the example that by forgetting that all are live in the forest in the same way, the Vanaprastha is also dwells, means he becomes illuminate his own inner world by by living in his forest of the inner world. He tried to giving more importance and try to achieve the success, or here success means to get the moksha, because after Vanaprastha he becomes converted as the sannyasi. So he tried to contemplate again and again on that form, what he achieved in the brahmacharya. Okay. The next one is the sannyasi. That is the who is sannyasi, whom both Paramatma as well as the Jivatma appeared together and devoted himself into the Atman, who becomes giving his whole life. After that, whenever he enter in the sannyasi ashram or sannyasi stage, he becomes dedicate his life to the Atman. He becomes no. That is the no difference between the Jivatma and Paramatma, and always try to live in that form of the Atman form. Okay, and if you've seen sannyasi, what who are called sannyasi, who giving the same what he experienced, that he tried to teach to the his disciple. So that is happening in the sannyasi ashram. So these are the four ashrams are discussed in the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati. Okay, first one is the brahmacharya, next one is the grahastha, the next one is the vanaprastha, next one is the sannyasi. Can anyone say what is the age limit of the any ashram? Which age limits are tell?
Ma'am, up to 25 years, 12 to 25 years for Brahmacharya ashram, and 25
Hmm.
to 50 is for Grahastha, and from 50 to I think 75 Vanprastha.
Yes, 25 is the measurement, 12 to 25, 25 to 50, and 50 to 75, and 75 to 100 as the sannyasi. Okay. Next, we'll move. So, after discussing about this four ashram, then again, here it is discussed about the different type of yogis. Okay, different type of yogis, and what are the other names are also present. So, he given more importance, then Tridandi, Ekadandi, and Pasupata. Okay, whatever the sannyasis are achieved, according to that way, that names are given. Okay, like first one is the Tridandi. Who are called Tridandi? Who having permanently control on the three things. What are the three things here? Maya, karma, and kala. Whoever having control, who are controlling his ignorance, means by doing the meditation or doing the sadhana, he becomes get the knowledge so that whenever knowledge will be eliminated, automatically the ignorance will be destroyed in that sense. And that person is following the all type of actions, whatever the actions are performed by that yogi, that must be in a for the useful purpose for the others. So that's why it is written that control. Whatever the actions are done by this yogi is not performing for himself only. He just try to do all the actions for the others. Then kala. Kala means the detached from the fetters of the mundane existence and stands like a rock. Means whatever the means with the detachment from whatever the actions are formed. So that is called as the kala. Okay. Yes.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. The screen is not visible.
It is
Screen is
visible.
Visible. Screen is
Visible.
visible. Yeah.
Check
Visible
it.
and also
Desaji,
audio also
please
clear.
check. Is there any
Yes,
problem
ma'am.
for
Yes, ma'am.
others?
No issue, no issue, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, no problem.
So Desaji, you please one time you just
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
leave the
ma'am.
meeting and again join. Okay. Now it is visible, Desaji?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay. So kala means what I said here, detachment. Whenever you are detached, means mundane existence means what? What are the worldly objects? So that is called as here mundane existence. And when you are doing any action with the detachment, means you have no more connection with that any object, whatever present in this world. So that is called as the mundane objects. And the means you becomes very much very much detachment way or very much unlikeness way you are doing. So that you automatically, whenever no feelings is there, so automatically you are converted as a rock. Someone is telling now, whenever no feelings, how can you behave like this? You have no feelings, you have no heart. So you becomes converted as a rock. In the same way, here, whenever the your uh, when that person, the who is the person here, the Abhaduta yogi, or the here the types of Tridandi I said, uh, Tridandi I said, so that person that should be control over these three, Maya, Karma, and Kala. Means whatever the knowledge, ignorance is there, that should be avoided by the getting the proper knowledge of the Param Brahma. Whatever the actions that performing, that should be a dedicated way that action should be performed for the others. And the kala means the detachment in the whatever he is performing, that should be by without any attachment to the mundane existences and behave like a rock. So that these are the three. Whenever that person is control over these three things, then that person or that sannyasi or sadhak is called as the Tridandi category. Okay. Then next is the Ekadandi. Ekadandi here Tridandi because they are victory over these three. And here Ekadandi means whoever control over his chitta or mind. So that person is called as the Ekadandi. Okay. So whoever, because the senses are also need to control, but here they given more importance to the chitta. Whoever control over his mind, so automatically whenever one want to get his control his mind, automatically he try to first control his senses. But there is no that type of descriptions is written. But we know that without controlling his senses, he cannot control over his mind. So Ekadandi means only one statement is given here, that chitta or whoever control his mind, that person is called as the Ekadandi. So after the Tridandi and Ekadandi discussion, then he also has given description of Pasupata, who is also called Suddha Saiva, and the Kalamukha, and Lingadhari, and Nirvana Para, and Kapalika, and Mahabrata, and Sakti Bhag, and Sakti Gyani. So these are also other names of the sannyasis who are belongs to this category. Okay, who are called Pasupata? Who realize the Shiva as pure, tranquil, formless, and absolute bliss and ever flourishing and free from all karmas. That persons or that sannyasi are coming under the category of Pasupata. Okay, and that is also called Sudha Saga. Means mainly they are follower of the Lord Shiva. They giving more importance to the Lord Shiva. And next is Kalamukha, who always adore linga form of absolute bliss in its own internal location. Okay, so who are just try to give his uh, like or love to the linga or form of the absolute bliss. Always he tried to be reach or always tried to be with that supreme, and that is his own internal location. That person who is thinking like this, that they are called or they are come under Kalamukha. The next one is the Lingadhari, who are called Lingadhari, a Veera who destroy all the elements and remains ever steady. Okay, Veera means here it is said that who is the means we can clever we cannot say the warrior. Okay, that is called as the Veera, the warrior who destroy all the elements and the remain ever steady in his that supreme ever steady means he tried to be in a constant form. He becomes realized with that all are talking about that supreme, but in the different way. Someone is because believe in the Shiva, so everywhere he just try to look the Shiva in everywhere. But who are getting that internal bliss, he always try to get that absolute bliss. So in that way, he is here Lingadhari as said as the warrior here who destroy all the elements. Okay, and remain steady in that Atman. And Nirvana Para who observes himself in the Nirvana. Okay, Nirvana means what? That is the moksha state. And who observe himself means who are getting that Nirvana state, that persons are called as Nirvana Para. Because what if you see, all are talking about the same, and maybe the same some procedures are different. They are following different form and they are following different paths, but all are getting the same state, that is the moksha or nirvana. Next one is the Kapalika, who practice self knowledge with chanting of mantras. Okay, who are always try to achieve that higher state by the practicing of the mantras, so that are called as the Kapalika. Next one is Mahavrata, who observed in the tattvas, or the tattva means here indicated as the self. Okay, that persons are called as the Mahavrata. Sakti Bhak means union of Kula and Akula is called as the Sakti Bhak. And Sakti Gyani who destroy all the kalas and known that Sakti, so that person is called as here Sakti Gyani. So these are the different forms are said by the Guru Gorakshanath, that these are also different forms of the Avadhuta Yogi who can who can follow this tradition also. So there are maybe Tridandi, there may be common Tridandi, but Ekdandi or Pasupata or Kalamukha or Lingadhali or Nirvana Para or Kapalika or Mahavrata or Sakti Bhak or Sakti Gyani. But these all aim or all goals are to getting that supreme. So after discussing about this, he just tried to say the Panchamakaras, that is the Madhya, Mudra, that is the Anmina, Mansa, and Maithuna. Okay, Madhya means here it is described as the ego or the arrogance nature of the person, that is called as the Madhya category. Then Mudra means whatever the desires are coming in your mind, or that is called as the Mudra. Meena means the illusion, what are the wrong knowledge, that is called as the Meena. And the Mansa means here it is considered as the mind, how your mind becomes distracted. So because of this nature, that is the Mansa. And Maithuna means insensibility. So these are the 5 things are said as the Panchamakaras. And whoever control over these Panchamakaras, that person become converted as the Sakta. Means who is controlling, who avoid his egoness, and who become free from his ego, desire, and becomes get that true knowledge and become control over his mind and become very sensible, sensitivity, then that person is called as the Sakta here. So after discussing the Panchamakara, then importance of this, what are the importance are discussed here? What are the importance? Now first he said that who is Siddhogi, again he is telling according to the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati, who always experience the oneness, who always in the blissful absolute bliss, who is always pure and delighted, united with the Brahma. These are the things already discussed, we already discussed. So again he is trying to repeat here that who is Siddha Yogi, repeatedly he just tried to say. Then after discussing about the Siddha Yogi, then he not given any more description about this, but he just tried to say before practice you should be follow the cleansing practices. These are very important according to the exam point of view. So be try to remember here. The Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati is also talking about different cleansing practices. Okay, means what are the yama? Okay, in this text, how many limbs of yogas are discussed?
8.
Yes, others also please give answer. 6 or 8?
8.
Surabhi ji?
8 only.
8.
What is 8 or 6?
8 only, ma'am.
It is followed the Ashtanga Yoga. What are the Ashtanga Yoga? Who can tell me?
Yama, Niyama, Asana,
Yam, Niyam.
Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi.
Yes. But here, no discussion till now about the Satkriyas. But now in the last chapter, in the last 2 slokas, they are discussing about the cleansing practice. Means whenever you are trying to achieve this Avadhuta state, your body should be clean. Through which things you need to clean your body? By practicing the dharana. Dharana practices. What are the dharana practices? Here it is given. Akasa dharana, Mahakasa dharana, Parakasa dharana, Tattvakasa dharana, and Suryakasa dharana. Maybe the sequence will be come in the exam that what are the dharana sequences as is said in the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati. Akasa dharana, Mahakasa, Akasa, Mahakasa, Parakasa, Tattvakasa, and Suryakasa. It is also Akasa Tattva is also described in the first chapter. If you remember, the sequence is also said there. Mahakasa, Akasa, Mahakasa, Parakasa, Tattvakasa, and Suryakasa. That is the 5 Akasas are discussed in the first chapter. So here you need to add the dharana. Akasa dharana, Mahakasa dharana, Parakasa dharana, Tattvakasa dharana, and Suryakasa dharana. So these are the dharana practices are discussed here. Then also again he tried to say Adroli, that is the dhoti. The names are different here. Adroli, Bahuli, Drashtasana, Ghanti, Vasana, and Naulika. So Naulika means Nauli, Vasan means Kapalbhati. Here you need to remember the other name of Kapalbhati. Here it is said that the Vasana, and the Ghanti is the Tratak here. Drashtasana is the Neti here, and Bahuli means the Basti, and Adroli means the Dhoti. So these are the other names that are discussed in this Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati, but they are not described that how one need to do these practices. That is not described in this text. So lastly, he giving the importance that who are eligible to the and not eligible for this knowledge, who are eligible, who will get this knowledge, whom one need to give this knowledge, the disciple of the Guru and the correct person, and the person who becomes free from this anger, desire, confusion, fear, and sorrows, means mostly becomes free from all kleshas. That person is eligible, means they are given the eligibility criteria that whom you need to give this knowledge. Who becomes the disciple of the Guru, and that person should be correct one you have to check, and one who becomes free from the all kleshas, then that person is eligible to get this knowledge. And lastly, he becomes saluting to the Adinath Shiva and also saluting to the great god Ganapati to grant all the four objectives of the life, that is the dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Okay. So this is your all about Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati. Anyone having any doubt, then please ask me. Yes, Aswini ji. Yes, Aswini ji, ask me. Unmute yourself. You want to say something? Okay. What about others? All of you understand what is the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
What is your thinking? You just
Yes,
in
ma'am.
few words, can you tell me what is your experience of Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati? What you understand in the first chapter? What is your experience, and in the last chapter, what you think now? It is easy or difficult or moderate or what?
Ma'am, in this
Last chapter it feels easy.
One by one, one by one. Ankita ji, please.
in the starting, my first day, you are already gone through 2 classes, so I felt that difficult. First chapter I felt difficult, but later on you taught us so well that it's easier day by day, and then the end chapters are easy, better than the previous chapters. Last 3 chapters are very, very easy. As you taught, if you don't teach us this way, we cannot able to understand actually.
Okay, thank you. But you have to go through it again and again. Okay, Gita ji. Okay, now Suma ji, what
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
experience?
Last 2-3 chapters are easy, but first Pinda Vichara, Pinda till Samarasa Bhava. Little like those that we have to memorize a lot, like 5 tattvas, what are there, we have to remember.
Which chapter name is Pinda Pada Samarasa Bhava?
Pinda Pada Samarasa Bhava is before 6, 5, 4.
4.
4 or 3, ma'am?
5.
5.
Suma ji, you forget about the chapter name after discussing all the chapters. Even in
No,
last
no.
you are telling
6th
like
is
this.
Avadut.
Hmm?
6th is Avadut. 5th is Samviti. Okay.
Samarasa Bhava. And the
Samarasa Bhava.
fourth one is Vichara.
Vichara.
Then third one will become
Fourth
as the
one,
knowledge.
fourth one,
Pinda Adhara.
Dhara.
I was going in the reverse order. That's why, like. So first 3, when you have those 5 elements to be associated, that we have to remember that one. Otherwise, the last chapters are all okay.
Now you understood or not the whole text?
Yeah.
What is
About
discussed?
Siddhi Siddhanta Paddhati, like what it is discussed main about the Pinda. I was not aware of Yoga Bija and a Siddhi Siddhanta Paddhati. Only we
Okay.
knew was text Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Gheranda Samhita, like Yoga Sutras we used to quote. But this was the first time I was studying this Yoga Bij and Siddhi Siddhanta Paddhati I had heard. But what it was in that, what is there in Siddhi Siddhanta Paddhati, I was not aware of. Though I had books, but this PPT and your explanation made it clear, like what is the content and the flow of the contents are good here.
Okay, thank you, Sumaji. But you have to, if anyone wants more knowledge regarding this, then you have to, I will say you have to follow the book once if you
Yeah, I was
want.
just seeing the book
Okay.
also, ma'am, that they have uploaded the book in the drive, Yog Bij. It is in the form of shlokas. The questions, what you were saying, it is like whatever the questions like you have framed, that those are in shlokas, Sanskrit shlokas. So it is, the flow is good. We need some time to go through that. That's it. Maybe leisurely after the exam. for
Mhm.
understanding point of view like that.
Yes, yes, this Aji, I will take test. Don't worry. Okay. And I will give you only Saturday and Sunday. You 2 day will get. You just try to complete your notes. I will check everyone's note on Monday. Then we will discuss some previous year question and also try to complete. Now I will give you some task also. Okay, now Sukanya ji, you tell me what is your opinion?
Uh, yeah, the total 6 chapters are very interesting. The Pinda Utpati, it's really it's amazing how they interpreted in this way. And also your teaching is very nice. It makes us easier to understand. And for me also, this is the first time to look the Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati in an elaborate way. Very nice scripture, and